Landline's Sean Murphy reports there's a new health product from apples which echoes the adage, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Bushfire and drought have certainly taken the shine off this year's apple harvest. But it's not all bad news. There's been a dramatic increase in production of a world-leading health and wellbeing product which is made from Australian apples. At the Appledale Cooperative in Orange, New South Wales, they're now supplying about 140 tonnes every 6 to 8 weeks for an Australian-made nutraceutical, which harnesses the compounds in apples which fight inflammation and disease. It's billed as a game changer in the delivery of phenolic antioxidants.
Before my technology, to get the phenolic antioxidants from plants, you have to use chemical solvents such as ethanol, methanol, acetone or ether. The problem with that is, even though they remove it from the final products, when it is introduced into our biological system, our body cannot process and absorb it because our body doesn't have any of these chemical solvents. What our body has is water.
Vincent Candruanata has discovered a way of extracting and activating the antioxidants using water. It came as part of a doctoral thesis just 5 years after leaving home in Indonesia to do a food science and human nutrition degree at the University of Newcastle. He says the journey began much earlier in his mother's kitchen in the suburbs of Jakarta. She was a pastry chef and apple crumble was a favourite.
Instead of asking me to mix, say, for example, yeast and sugar and milk, she explained that these little things called yeast are the one that's responsible for the expansion of the bread dough in the oven. Or things like when you whip up egg white, it actually will change form, the physical property will change. Obviously, she didn't have the capacity and knowledge at that time to explain the scientific behind it, the scientific reason behind it. However, it was enough to make me curious, to spark my interest to learn more about food science and human nutrition.
Dr. Candruanata says he owes a lot to Australia for his education and for the opportunity to develop a business with his intellectual property secured by patent. He's especially grateful to the apple industry.
I owe a great deal of gratitude towards apple farmers and apple industry in Australia because not only they funded my research to start with, they continue to support us. We have always been 100% Aussie grown and will always be 100% Aussie grown. The highest quality apples can be found in Australia. I want Australian apples to be seen on the international stage as the gold standard for apples around the world.
The Appledale Co-op was formed 40 years ago to use second-grade apples for the juice and cider markets. Now it's building capacity with premium apples to provide treated fibre for the supplement trade.
I can tell you that they're quite stringent on what varieties of apples they use and the quality of that fruit. A lot of it goes through quite a big process of making sure that it is fit for purpose. And really that's about all I can say on that process side of it.
Dr. Candruanata's wholly Australian-owned company Renovatio has been producing tablets, powders and creams for 4 years now. But it's so concerned about protecting its process that it won't even reveal where its manufacturing is done.
When we get contacted by distributors, especially from overseas, their very first question is, can you tell us about the technology? What's the technology? Give us the details on the technology. And we always know that you can't. At the moment, we're keeping it close to our chest. We think it's a very high value IP, and we can see that it's both got national and international growth potential.